have this year.
What's the problem there?
Stay healthy. That's
No, I'm
that's
not.
actually a focus for me.
You're the one like on your phone walking around like a
I'm
madwoman.
I keep getting bloodshot eyes from all the travelling and like screens and stuff. No one's got any good tips for bloodshot
I was chilling
eyes.
at your house. You're the one that wanted to leave out of nowhere. All I remember is I was on the couch and out of nowhere you were like, "Let's get the fuck out of here." And I was like, "Okay." And then you were already out the door, and I was like tidying up and cleaning up a couple of things before I left.
Obviously, David Price. And
All I know is I love you, and there's nothing you can do about that.
and yeah, I was going to come on to you.
Well, I'm sure there's other fighters we've missed. So again, like we'll be here all day.
Oh, is that today?
UK-based
Okay,
fighters.
so US guys are for another interview with maybe more of a global platform.
Yeah.
Don't you work tomorrow?
And so let's talk about David Price.
Oh, so you do have 2 days off in a row.
Fight.
No, I work.
Always exciting.
I have tomorrow
Wait, you
off.
worked today. Oh my god, I'm getting mixed up. Sorry. Yeah, so you do have split days off. That's what I
No,
thought.
like, we just ignore their.
At the moment, the WBO is
Yeah,
saying.
no, I'm fine with
do
whatever,
something.
man. Seriously. No, seriously. Don't worry.
You know what I'm saying, guys?
Or if I have to, I'll just go over there for like 10, 20 minutes or something.
IBF.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
right.
maybe
No,
we
if
have to
you
get
stayed
all
here,
the
or like if I had to meet you at somewhere or
All we wanna
something.
know is, guys, you need to just tell us who's first.
No.
Yeah, obviously
So-
I hear what you're saying, whatever. But like, if I went somewhere for 10 minutes, Bear, I'm pretty sure you can be like okay.
I hear you.
I'm saying to my conversation.
I know, and it's also unrealistic that I would go there for 10 minutes.
That
There would have to be a
we
certain
will
type
fight
of
you.
opening for
We're
that
not.
type of
Say
thing.
that we were
Then
doing
the
I
Chisora
get it.
fight is there, and then you fight the winner. Of
I
Joshua
don't know.
Booth.
It's just like.
Okay, if it was Mullane and some other guy, I wouldn't give half a fuck. But like, me and Mike is kind of cool, so I just feel like they're using that as a factor. But it's not a big deal. I seriously don't care. Bear, I don't care. I don't care.
Again, no, I don't have a responsibility
think so?
to Tom Little other than I like the geezer. I think he's hilarious, and I'd love to have him on another show.
I just don't want to party with like.
Last one, really.
I mean, it's gonna suck, right? Like, can you imagine if we were the only ones going and they had like all this food and shit? Like, that would be fucked up.
I hear you. Maybe we can go for a bit, but just if I want to go home, you gotta come with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but like, yeah, like Bear, like, I've already said that. I don't understand why you think I'm not on
I'm
board.
just thinking about it more and more because I know that they call you like 10 times. It's like.
But I'll call him later today. Actually.
I want them to get the idea that we're all buddy.
I agree with you.
Looking to
I'm like that with
fight
everyone.
in
I'm starting to get like that more and more. I don't think you used to be like that, right? Like before we were dating, do you think that you were more friendly with people that wanted to be your friend?
Because
I think I changed a little bit.
Number one card.
Yeah.
I'm less interested in like
Oh,
meeting
mate.
other people now that I have
I
you.
love the Andy Ruiz.
You know what I
fight.
mean?
No, I just wouldn't be
Or
invited to
Dylan
something
White.
like this.
Will they take
Well, that
it?
too. I hear you on that. No, but I mean that could go both ways, right? I get invited to things now that I normally
Yeah,
wouldn't have been.
exactly.
But
But ultimately,
But all I'm saying is, I remember at one point, like you used to always say, like, "Oh, Derek, you're so friendly and everybody likes you." When we first started dating, and I said to you, like, "Well, I don't really like anybody anymore now that I have you or whatever, right?" Like I love you so much that it actually, like that level of like amplification basically lowered everything else.
In October. And he
Like I'm not even just saying that to be funny. Like I'm pretty sure that's what
But
happened.
I think it should happen sooner. But the truth is, Dillian's not going to fight for the world title next.
So basically, it's
let's
actually your fault that I
identify and
got
establish,
into a fight with
book
Shaq.
that fight in, get the right opponent.
Could he fight on the same card?
Isn't that
as Joshua?
funny, Bear? I made a funny. Made a funny.
Possibly. Unlikely.
Yeah.
Because I'm a funny
So
bear.
that's what we'll be speaking about today and locking everything in the new year.
Let's talk about Fury Wilder.
Yeah.
Formally announced last week. 22nd of Feb is expected at the Grand Vegas.
Great fight. I mean, first
Yeah.
fight, I got to stick with the first fight. I said it wasn't a
Love
great fight.
you.
It wasn't a great fight. It was unbelievably dramatic.
No, I don't think you
12th
do.
round was epic. And what happened with the knockdown?
I said that kind of like Ben Shapiro
Big
or like
fight
Tim
for the
Pool.
heavyweight division.
Like, no, I don't think you do.
Um,
It's really sharp.
yeah, I mean, really
Shark
good
bear is
fight.
what they call me.
Boxing,
Oh shit.
Cutthroat
Joshua
bear.
was the winner.
That's what they call me, Bear.
What else shall we say? I do not understand not doing a press talk.
Cause he
You
fell.
weren't happy about that.
Love my
I thought it was a little bit strange because there's press potential for.
It's just laziness. It's laziness.
Love my
Because why would you do press talk? Say, oh, well, they're going on a big college football show.
Love
So
my
they don't need to do a press
bear.
talk. Of course you need to do it. You're telling me for a fight of that
Bear,
magnitude,
busy bear.
you are not going to do a media talk.
I can't believe
Bear, bear, bear. Bear, bear.
Tell
Love
them
my
it's
bear.
not-
Busy
so,
bear.
How can you not do a media tour for that?
Like kind of like British style.
I don't understand.
Are you bidding?
Remind me of some like Irish.
Am I bidding?
Bear, what the heck? You're just on your phone anyways. Like, what do you want?
Are you
Well,
going?
you know.
What do you want from me, Bear?
I mean, I don't want to. Luckily, Bob Arum's got a bigger mouth than me, so he's told the world what's
I
happening.
want to play.
Which, quoting Bob Arum, is we've had a big offer from Sky.
Never play my
and
game.
BT have the right to match
Not
it.
that I was playing, but
I'm surprised. BT, I mean, they're about to
Bit
buy
of,
all these
just a little bit of Hearthstone
draft
there.
packs from Fury. You know, they get the big kahuna.
Cause I don't love Bear anymore. Love my bear.
Have they gone in?
I just won't
It's a substantial
go
offer.
out of my way for Bear.
Now BT are in a very awkward position because they're
Whoa!
which their platform says they can't deliver those.
And to
lineups
be
or
stinky,
make
stinky,
money.
winky to be.
So do you want to do a pay-per-view? You have to understand this is not. It's not boxing people who make these decisions. This is
That's
fighting.
British shit, right?
What?
And
That's British
Yeah.
shit, right? Ugh.
board of director
Yeah,
level.
it's awful.
That look
There's
at the
something
numbers
about it
and
that's
say,
just weird.
Well,
I,
that's now
I,
risky.
I don't even know how to explain it.
Why would we do a pay-per-view in the first place to make
What?
money? Now
Yeah, empty
we might end up
bit,
losing.
empty bit.
Awful. It's a
So
joke.
no, thank
I know it's a joke.
you know,
It's
from-
kind of
from
catchy, obviously, just to like a little extent.
lose this fight.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it is a little bit
He's
catchy.
got nothing to do with it. And he palmed it off very nicely in your interview the other day where he said, "It's up
I
to
want more
BT if
pee
they
poo
want
poo
it,"
checks, Bear.
which is surely not
Just the audio makes me laugh.
spirit of the deal.
It reminds me of like
Sometimes
Discord,
really it's
4chan, like the type of shit I hang out in.
And
Yeah.
that's not really how it works. But that's how it works
That's
now.
probably where it came
So
from.
BT, as you've seen from
I don't
Bob
see
Arum,
your fucking friends having that type of humor.
Like, stop having one up each other.
Great for
I know.
Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, by the way.
I'm sorry, Bear.
But strange.
You just say this guy humor.
We win.
Come on, Bear. What the heck?
Yeah, but as in Sky win.
Don't yell at me, Bear.
If it doesn't,
Love
no
you.
problem. And BT get what they probably should have got in the
What?
first place.
Oh, just September 11th was fucking crazy.
But it's interesting.
It's fucking
So
nuts.
proper, built within a fight, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
It's crazy. That was 19 years ago.
How much anticipated?
It's funny to think I was like a liberal back then, and I was like, "Fuck America! I want it all to burn."
Yeah.
Like, I was one of those rioters back then. Fuck.
Tyson Fury wins. He won the first fight.
You hear me fart?
When's Joshua
No.
Barrett's camp?
I wish I
Didn't
did
win
though.
fighters, so probably.
So it's Fury's camp.
Ew!
Oh, right, yeah. Don't know how that's going to work. I wouldn't be surprised.
So
Wouldn't be surprised.
I can tell that you went to the deli today and you had
It's a bit weird because he might fight a winner.
Chinese food.
That would be a bit strange.
I know you did. I'm just joking. I couldn't even spell anything.
Josh is his own boss if he fancies it.
Chris Doyle did that
I
once,
don't know
eh?
if Rob says or I said.
We're like, it wasn't even Chris Doyle. I think it was like his coworker farted in front of him, and then Chris Doyle smelt it, and then guessed his lunch, and the other guy was like, "You're right, man. You're right." I don't even know if it was true or not. I feel like they were
With
fucking
those
with
two
me.
characters, Fury and Wilder. Can you imagine me going? Do you know what? I think we'll leave the media talk. I'll be straight on a plane. I'll be London, New York, LA, wherever. Timbuktu, don't give a fuck. Get it on. Whatever it costs, do it.
He's just a nice
bell. Wilder don't want to be around Fury.
Possibility.
Love my
busy No. Fury, one of the ways Fury wins the fight is by doing the media talks, getting in Wilder's head. It's a disadvantage for Tyson Fury not to have the media talks. Think about it.
Busy bear.
Exactly. Would he have won that fight against Kitchen if he didn't have the first press conference?
Busy bear. Busy bear.
Alright, well listen. What other news can you tell us?
Nothing. We've done 2 hours.
Why? We're like 10 minutes away.
This is terrible. I don't know if this is good content for fight then, but it's too long.
No, it's not, never too long with you.
What else? Nothing really. Just
So just tell me, just sum up your first quarter of 2020. What
okay.
you hope
So
to happen?
January the 30th. I mean, this is all. I mean, what we know is all we know at the moment is Jan 30, Feb 8, right? But in an ideal world, I'll tell you what is going to happen. Okay. January the 30th, done. Andrade against Luke Keeler. Kevin Farmer against Jojo Diaz. Danny Roman against Ahmed Lee at Unified for Bantamweight World Championship. Triple header. Plus Jake Paul against Anderson Gibbons. Alright? I know you love that thing. You love that. You do love that.
How many rounds is that?
6. Okay, that's Miami.
Welcome back.
I say we're on next February 8th, Feb 29 as well, Garcia Vargas. February the 8th, Kell Brook, Mark DeLuca, Kid Galahad, Claudio Moreira, Terry Harper, Eva Wallstrom, Dave Allen, etc. February the 8th, Sheffield. February 29th, Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. Hopefully, Cal Yafai against Chocolatito. I'd like to also see the return of our new flyweight world champion star, Julio Cesar Martinez, on that show as well. March 7, now we start getting, they're all done. March 7, now we get to the,
Potential.
yeah, Chisora against Usyk, Manchester Arena. Okay. March 28th, possibly Kelly against Abanesian, Conor Benn against Johnny Garton, etc., etc., or Usyk against Chisora on that date. April the 4th, March 28th as well, possible Gennady Golovkin date. April the 4th, Lewis Ritson, Newcastle. April the 18th was going to be
I think you could win this
Devin
whole
Haney,
thing.
could actually be Dillian White on that date. And then we're moving to May for Joshua against Pulev. And loads else happening in America, of course, but that's the main UK focus.
So Joshua, likely to be
May, I think May, yeah.
May.
Yeah, end of April or May, but again, a lot depends on Dillian when he goes. Is that alright with you, or you got something planned? I mean, what are you doing? Going through your calendar?
No, I'm just checking. I'd like to know dates.
I can't tell you. The reasons I do is the interviews. Don't take it, those things, when I say planning, as gospel. Don't start booking holidays and then moaning at me when it falls in April. Oh, fuck you, man. I've booked an holiday. That's the kind of thing you normally do. Oh, Ed, have you got any shows around here because I'm planning to go away? All right, mate, let me just try and work it all out for you and just make sure that you go.
Wednesday in April, and then actually announced.
So fucking sue me.
That'll do.
I'm just saying, like, man had things to do, innit?
Oh, look, I've had calls from Dillian.
Can I just show you something? Just tell me your opinion. This is a young amateur boxer called Joe Cooper. I'm going to show you something. Just give me your. Tell me what you think.
Red or blue?
You'll know.
Surprised they let him continue. Well, it's very, I mean, it's 10 seconds of footage. Looks like a sharp kid.
Yeah. What advice would you give it to the young?
Well, he's wearing an England vest, so he's obviously going around the right thing.
This kid is convinced that you'll be signing him soon.
Probably
so-
will be.
Doing great
Very
out
good
there.
chance. What, my advice to what? For his career?
Yes.
Just work hard.
Related to Billy Joe Saunders as well.
Is it? Yeah, I saw that. My advice to any young fighter is just work as hard as you can. At the end of the day, if you work as hard as you can in whatever you do, you can't have to win. Keep life simple. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. Then, ultimately, however you look at yourself, however you value yourself, when you look in the mirror in the morning, you know you can have done enough. The worst thing is to have regrets. So, it's no point overcomplicating something to a young kid and saying, what you want to do, mate, is you want to do this and sit down and have a medium-term, short-term plan, long-term plan, strategy, this, dreams, write it all down. Fuck that. Just work as hard as you can. It's simple. And if things don't go your way, you need an awful lot of luck in life. Right? It's not just a case of, oh, you work hard, you have it off. Don't work like that. But I do believe the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I believe in karma, and I believe that the more you put in, the more you'll get out. So for any young kid, and for anyone in sport or in business, very, very simple. just do the most you can. Don't go to bed at night thinking, fucking hell, I didn't really do much today. Bit of an easy session, I had a couple of hours off, or didn't really get that done. Just go to bed knowing another day banked, couldn't have done anymore. And I think that's such a great philosophy. Not every day, you're not going to be on form every day. Some days you're going to wake up, you're going to feel like shit, you can't be bothered. You're going to go in, you're going to just sort of coast it out a little bit. Some days you might be a fighter, you might do your run, you didn't push yourself quite as hard. That's understandable. But overall, work as hard as you can, or work that's everything you've got inside you, get it out and do what you can, and then life will play out how God wants it to play out. And if you don't believe in a man upstairs, then our karma will make it play out. But you can't do any more than that. And when you're old, and you're 90 odd, or if you, God willing, you make that age, you look back and you can say to yourself, I gave everything in my life. If not, you will have regrets. But at the end of the day, remember that you will be sitting here today thinking, I worried and panicked a lot about stuff. It really didn't mean fuck all, did it? Because now I'm about to snuff. Sorry to end on a down note. So enjoy life, work as hard as you can, be a good person. That's my advice to the kid as well. Operate in the right way, respect your family, most of all respect your parents, be polite, be a good person. Be someone that people go, nice kid he is. You know what I mean? Follow in the footsteps of people that have achieved, but also follow in the footsteps of people who everybody would say, he's a great guy. Anthony Collett. There you go. There's a good example of someone who you should be like. And others as well. What about you, Cougar? 2020.
More views, mate.
More views. Do better than 2019. Are you still focused? Are you still motivated?
I'm bang on it, mate. That's what Day before.
I mean, you're expanding quite. You know, you've now got Andy, Boomer, and Oscar.
Thinking about new recruiting.
Yeah.
In the new year.
You don't really get rid of many of them, do you? It's like.
No, because they're good.
Yeah. You're happy.
Yeah. What? Yeah, 2020. I'm gonna smash every other YouTube channel out of the park.
Ooh. A bit aggressive.
No, not really.
Doing great out there.
Just do our own thing, innit?
Yeah, right. Do you want to smash every other YouTube channel at the park?
Well, why would I? But in a nice way.
You want to smash them out of the park in a nice way?
In a nice way, in a friendly, competitive. Mate, come on, mate.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm going to smash you out of the park. Do you want to do that? Lovely.
There we go. Your top 3 no context home.
Oh.
Top 3.
My darling, you were the headman. You're a different breed.
Can't you do it in the voice, Ed? Like, come on, this is like New Year. Give them something.
My darling, you were the headman. You are different gravy. There you go.
Right, that's number 3.
I love you. I go back to performing Seal. You were like, go on it, do something for the new year. Go on, do it when you do that thing. My other favourite no context term is The Backlash Makes Me Horny. That is one of my favourites. And I've kind of gone off Go On Then because it's been absolutely like last night at the darts I must have done about 30 Go On Then. So like people come up to me going, do the Go On Then. What's the other one? Well, do you know what? We've got a load of mugs. Wait there, let me get the mugs.
Shortly. Here we go.
So I couldn't bring them all back, but one that I couldn't bring back was no, I'm not having this. That's one of them. So I spoke to my man from No Context Turn just to confirm. I do not run the No Context. Will you back me up on this?
No, you don't.
I don't have any involvement with this No Context.
I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that you don't.
Fuck off, mate.
What, mate?
Don't mug.
Mate.
Be honest. Do you honestly think I have any involvement in this account?
I think you've got shares in that motherfucker. I'm joking. I
Good,
don't
because actually some people are saying, I can't believe how egotistic are you to create this account.
No, it's actually aimed you.
This is a guy called Andy, I believe he works for the NHS. So he made these with a company called, because they sent it to me. They sent me all these mugs. Terrace, that's it. Terrace. Enjoy the mugs on behalf of that No Context and ourselves at the Terrace. A great launch to be involved with please just let us know which chosen charity you'd like to see us donate to. So I came to me and said, they came to me and said, would you mind if we'd done these merchandise? I said, no problem, but they're a bit cheeky because it's my quotes and it's your videos. But if you can donate a percentage of charity, I'm happy to do it. So they came back and said we would. They sold like nearly 4,000 mugs or something like that. Yeah. And they've donated $3,000 to my chosen charity, which is.
What's the percentage, by the way?
Again, I don't. I mean, percentage of the profits.
Okay,
listen, this Andy geezer, he's on it all day. So he's obviously making a few quid out of no context, and congratulations. If you can make money out of my expense, good luck to you. So anyway, I think it's like $3 and a bit grand to Havens House Children's Hospice. Yes, so thank you very much for that. So here's a couple of my favourites. This is actually.
Go back a bit and get you right in shot there.
So the backlash makes me horny. That's one of my favourites. This is another good one. Oh my God, I feel terrible looking at that one. This is probably my all-time favourite. This is a great one for a cup of coffee. Don't let the bastards get you down. And this one, actually I think this is my favourite. Ooh, how convenient. There you go.
Where's the cheeky little fucker one?
I don't know if they've done that one. Did they? Yeah, I know.
Remember that one?
So when we say my top three, you cheeky little fucker. That's.
Who's the cool cheeky little fucker?
Three.
Plotting them like chess pieces.
Yeah, do you know what? Okay. Top three. Backlash makes me horny. Ooh, how convenient. You cheeky little fucker. That's my favourite, cheeky little fucker. So, there you go. I've actually learned to embrace no context then. I think it's quite amusing now, actually. I hope you don't get milked too much in 2020 and it can just carry on.
I think if you stop doing interviews,
Probably done a couple of new
there's been a lot of it. Eddie, have you got any closing words before
We've done 2 hours, mate.
We've definitely done 2 now, yeah.
I would just like to say thank you. I would like to say thank you to those that have supported our fighters. Thank you to those that have supported Matchroom. Thank you to those who haven't and motivated us to work harder. Keep supporting British boxing. Keep supporting people who are out there trying to achieve their dreams. If things don't work out for fighters in fights, don't give them too much of a hard time because it's a tough sport and they're trying their nuts off. To you at home, good luck in 2020. I hope you have a great year. I hope it's a great year for you and your family. I hope that you can achieve everything you set out to achieve. Keep things simple. Live every day as it comes. You never know if it's your last day. You never know how important that day is. Every day, just know what you got to do on that day. Work hard, play hard, enjoy your life. Look forward to a good time, not a long time. And look forward to another great year. And I promise you, I will work as hard as I possibly can to make the best fights and do the most of my fighters and the best I can for the sport.
Big homie comes Donnie, but to end his life, got the first place in this bitch, man. The big homie.
Well, AJ
They call him the first place killer.
This is a little team tracksuit. It's lovely, isn't it?
Who sent it to you?
No, I nicked it in Saudi.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
Edward, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
2 hours with Eddie Earn, a day before
Why is it killing me?
2020. Keep it real, mate.
Cheers, boys and girls. Thank you very much.
Is that a new tracksuit? Did you get it for Christmas?
Is this on?
Yeah, it's on.
I bought it for myself.
For Christmas?
Yeah, not for Christmas. I went out on Christmas Eve to buy stuff and ended up buying a couple of Boss tracksuits. I need that man bag thing, you know, the one you wear?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, getting on the plane with that man bag, and I can be like you, just like you. Did you get that hat for Christmas?
I did get this hat.
Did you?
I got this hat, yeah.
What about that tracksuit?
No.
It's a bit of a rascal.
What?
It's like, that's like the tracksuit you get, you know when you play in a football team at school? And everyone gets the same tracksuit, that is like that one.
This is my gym tracksuit.
Is it?
Just come
Not
from
worn
the
it
gym.
very much.
That's been worn. This is Cougar Cash's Rifle Team in association with MTK Global. I don't know if this is like an end of year review, reflection on the show, a bit of everything.
Bit of everything, really.
Really, yeah.
This is the same room. We borrowed this from Darts. Do you remember when I done that Deontay Wilder thing with the glasses on? With
Yes.
a £5 note.
Yeah, that worked well.
Went well, yeah. Come a long way since then.
Well, just 6 days obviously out from your end of year Christmas cracker.
It was a Christmas cracker.
Yeah, it was. I sat down on the Sunday, watched the whole show. Yeah, I mean, as brutal knockouts as you can get in heavyweight boxing, that was definitely one of them.
I watched the fight back.
I'm not quite sure I agree that the actual fight itself was better than the first one. I thought the first one, I mean, you're not talking a lot in it at all.
I suppose there's different things really. The first fight was an undercard fight, so the atmosphere was better and hotter. I know it doesn't mean the fight was better, but it was a bit more dramatic. With the knockout, it was more dramatic and emphatic. And Dillian came from behind to win, clearly behind. I thought it was a better fight than the first fight, personally. I thought it was technically a bit better as well, but I thought Chisora boxed technically better. White was more patient than he was in the first fight, maybe made less mistakes, but yeah, it was a toss-up really. But it was one of them where I said to your boy who'd done the interviews after, because you sent me your junior, I said, when you do a rematch like that, you have to understand, like, can you imagine how badly did people want, or not everybody obviously, but a lot of people want that to be shit, that fight? Admit that, like, people would have loved it to be shit, so they can just jump all over it, right? So you make a fight like that and you think, it can't be anything but brilliant. I mean, the first fight was brilliant. They're both probably better, they're both in better shape, there's more on the line, it's sold out, but there's always that worry that it might be shit. And I'll be honest with you, we haven't done a shit pay-per-view since Cleveland 2. No? You can look at all the pay-per-views. The only one you could probably call out is the Kell Brook Gavin fight, but you had Selby Gradovic, you had Mitchell Linares. It was an unbelievable night of boxing. So what I'm saying is, no one's moaned after a pay-per-view really since Bellew Cleverly, and every time you wait and hope that you don't get a stinker, to be honest. So after that fight, I was so pleased because it was unbelievable. And, you know, everyone that bought it said, no one, not one moan from a customer. And that's the most important thing to us, is that everybody watched it, everyone who bought it, everybody who was in the arena left thinking they got value for money, and they had a smile on their face. And everybody did. There wasn't one person who left or didn't watch who went, fucking, that was shit, didn't get any money. That hasn't happened. So every time, that's a big tick on the list. So I was pleased that it was as good as I hoped it would be. Probably better, it exceeded expectations.
It's mad how a year and a half ago you were saying that the fight wasn't pay-per-view. You were trying to convince Chisora and White that it wasn't. They were saying it was. So
it's a little bit of mind games in that. I mean, in that at the time it probably wasn't, because obviously Dillian hadn't really had any notable wins. His profile was nowhere near where it is now, and Chisora's now coming off a Takam win on pay-per-view as co-main event. So, and the game's changed completely. So a little bit of me, listen, I would love to make every fight on Saturday Night Fight Night, because then you get no moans, but you can't as much as you want to dislike me or boo me, I'm dictated to by the fighters in terms of what they want for the fights. Do you understand? I can't go to Dillian White or Chisora and go, listen, everyone don't really want this on pay-per-view. They want it on Saturday Night Fight Night. You can take 400 grand for this fight. What do you think they're gonna say? You can't be naive enough to think that that's how the game works. So the money that Dillian White wanted for that fight, and Chisora, only one way to do it. It's just pleasing when you get a fight and a night like that. And it's not about me, it's about British boxing. Because when you get a bad night, or you get a night that leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth, or that can sometimes snowball into some downtime or a trough. And we've got to keep the peaks going. Because you get a couple of bad ones, everyone goes, you know what, I've fallen out of love with boxing. But something we've managed to do for the last few years is actually not have any of those. And just continuously have good nights. And it's not just us, it's other good nights as well. But at the moment, there is momentum in boxing. Every good night makes the sport bigger.
But you're putting on so many shows on now in the year and next year. I mean, you're talking about in excess of nearly 60 shows you're going to be putting on. Chances are you're going to have a few bad ones in there just through.
Yeah, but that's just. But look at look at the Premier League. You're going to have a few bad games. It's just that's sport. And not every show, but where it's got a lot tougher now is that a good example is Saturday Night Fight Night the other week. I know we lost the Kelly fight, but Brooke against Zarafa, Kelly against Avician, Fowler, Kid Galahad, and John O'Carroll in a final eliminator. That was like the world in to some people. It was like, this is a disgrace, the worst show I've ever seen. So that's the bar where we're at now, you know? No one says this about other shows, like in Brentwood Leisure Centre or something like that. But where we're at is, that's our bar. So sometimes we're going to do an average show. Or an average to good show. Just the nature of the beast. But the expectation levels are so high now, and that's good for us because it keeps us on our toes. But when you go into new markets, like I said, when we went to Italy, we did that show out there. Italian boxing fans are like, this is unbelievable. So, but obviously our marketplace and the fans here are used to a certain level now. But they also, what I'm finding now is the fans just want the big nights. They don't want the good to average shows. They just want the massive nights. And it's going to get really hard next year because all the money is getting funneled into, you know, if you look at 2018, Bellew Hay 2, Bellew Usyk, Joshua against Parker, Joshua against Povetkin, White against Chisora, White against Parker. They were all sold out events. 18,000, 20,000, 70,000, 80,000. Plus Warrington Frampton, Warrington Selby. So there's so much money being drawn into the big events that the smaller events or the average events or the good events will suffer because people will go, you know what, I'm going to wait till April 13th for Wembley. Does that make sense? So, but that's the same as everything. If you do an interview with Tyson Fury, people want that. They don't want an interview with Joe Block. They'll still watch it and he'll do okay numbers, but they want the big, the best every time. And that's what's going to get really interesting in 2019. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a very tough marketplace because you've got us, you've got ITV now, you've got BT, you've got Channel 5, I'm sure there'll be other outlets as well. And only the strong will survive, only the quality will survive.
Let's just go back to...
A bit like with what you do. When you started out, how many YouTube boxing outlets were there?
None. In this country, none.
And how many are there now?
About
50.
100.
Okay. But over time, the quality, the ones that work the hardest, the ones that get it right, are the ones that will survive, and all the others will just fall by the wayside. But you have to keep evolving. You can't just sit still. You can't just think that you've got the right model all the time. You can't just think, oh fuck it, I'm IFL, I'll crack it, I'll just sit there and talk bollocks to anyone and they'll watch. I mean, you do take advantage of your viewers, but we're not prepared to do that.
Keep
What
up
do you
the
mean?
momentum,
What?
friend.
What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Why take advantage of my viewers?
Yeah.
In what way?
I've noticed the way you talk to people online. Very disrespectful sometimes.
Like what?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into
No,
it.
you can go into it.
No,
Feel
but-
free.
I've noticed that, you know, IFL lately, they're getting particularly out of
I felt me.
it. You are IFL.
I'm not.
I will say this, and one thing I've noticed. I am the only person, really, definitely from a promoter standpoint, where you ask everything that can possibly be asked, and you dig so deep on me, but you won't dig it with other people. Why don't you do that? There are so many questions you could ask other promoters, and you know those questions, but you refuse to do it. So why is it that I have to tell you the truth 100% of the time, and you have to dig me out time after time, yet you sit down with other promoters, and you won't ask the questions that the industry wants you to ask because you're scared?
I'm not scared.
True though. Will you admit to that? You don't grill other promoters anywhere near. There are so many, and I'm not even going to mention it on here because you'll just cut it out. But you know.
That's a testament to you, though, isn't it? If what you're saying is right, that you're there.
Yeah, but
open
because
book, Eddie.
but you feel like I'll get it out of Hearn, fucking Hearn. Hearn's alright.
I've nothing to get
Hearn
out
will give
of
us
you.
what we want.
I've
But you
no,
ask
I've
me
nothing to
questions and
get
you
out
wouldn't
of
ask
you.
other people. There are other questions you should be asking
I
other
ask you
promoters.
stuff that's relevant to you and your business and
Yeah,
your
but there are
fire.
questions you should be asking other promoters, and you refuse to do it.
I don't know about refuse to do it. Can we
You
move
can't
on?
be bothered with the egg.
Can we move on?
You can do whatever you fucking want.
Going back to last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to Dylan actually this morning.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
He said, ask Eddie about a conversation we had a few days before the fight about him being in you. What does that mean?
Oh, mate.
What was that? What is that? He asked me but didn't elaborate on it, so I don't know.
I can't mention it on him.
Why? Just, can't you try and word it in a way
So we were having a conversation about, we were just talking business at the show and tidying up bits and pieces. And we have one of these moments where like he'll say something to me like, I'm very passionate about what we do, so I might say to him, listen, go fuck yourself, you know, or so he says something to me. And he said something like,
Your minions really pulled their
something like, you know, one day,
That'll do some damage.
basically, he was referencing that he would do something sexual to me one day, just for banter. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, mate, you can't say that. He said, no, I'm gonna do it one day. And I went, you would have to kill me first. You understand that, don't you? He went, no, you've got to be alive. And this is the kind of conversation we have. I mean, he's done it before. He's done it on your. On your interviews, mate. He's all wrong. But yeah, that's what it was.
He specifically asked me to ask you about that.
He's done well, you know. We got a good relationship. I mean, it's hard because he obviously feels like Joshua is our top dog, and Joshua is the biggest star in world boxing. So obviously, and I'm close with him, and you know, with Dylan, I got a lot of respect for Dylan White because he never come through no England GB setup. He didn't win Olympic medals. He didn't get it. So when I first started working with Dylan, he was just looking for a break, someone to give him a 6-rounder or an 8-rounder, you know. So, and he had to come through, and he's made a lot of decisions, the right decisions about certain fights for less money than perhaps he'd like. And look at him now. You know, he's been involved in 3 pay-per-view fights. One as the B side, if you like, but 2 as the A side, headline. Made a lot of money. He's number 1 with WBC, number 1 with the WBO, he's top 5 with the other governing bodies. So, this is my daughter.
Nice work
And he's
out
done really,
there.
really well.
Keep
He's
up
done
the
really
pressure.
well. Not a lot of people work harder than him. He's made a lot of money. He's well ranked. He's in a great position. But he does say some disgusting things to me every now and again. And that was a good example.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
What did you make of the kind of little few words that him and Joshua had after the fight? I'm surprised Joshua even got up, really.
He was
Yeah.
well. Look, he called him.
Oh, a lanky piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I keep saying, like, I think people look at Joshua and think that he went to public school, something like a private school, and that he's just like wet behind the ears. He's just like these other guys, and he wanted, you know, he bit. That's why he got up there, because that's unlike him. You know, Josh, he just chilled out, but he bit. He got called a lanky piece of shit. He bit. So he got up there, and what he was saying was, it didn't go down well because the crowd wanted him to say, "You're next. I'm gonna fucking knock you out." But he was being honest. He said, "I want Wilder, and if I can't get Wilder and I can't get Fury, I'll fight you." But that wasn't what the crowd wanted to hear in that moment.
In the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a great chance that fight can get made next. It's a tough fight. Dylan is a tough fight for anybody. Outside of the heavyweight world champions, I believe he's number one. And I believe he can beat Tyson
He
Fury.
doesn't believe that fight will happen for him next. Dylan.
I think there's a lot of, I mean, we've got to do a deal. That's the first thing. And that's not going to be easy. Because Dillian will want certain things, Joshua will want certain things, people around Dillian will want certain things. Maybe the same with Joshua, they don't like each other. But there's a lot of money to be made for both of them in that fight. It's a really, really good fight. And there will be a conversation. But our priority is not to make the Deontay Wilder fight. And I'm not going to go into the conversation that we had if we can go back.
Have you had more conversations?
Not really. I mean, I can't exactly say it looks like they want that fight. But who knows what's going to happen in the next few days. But I've already said to them, in the last 48 hours, we need to get moving. We just need to know, do you want this undisputed fight or not? Or are you even prepared to talk about the deal? If you're not, it's a shame. We're disappointed. We're gutted. But we have to move on. But it's frustrating because people say, oh, you don't want to fight Wilder. We're there. We're ready to fight Wilder. But I don't know. And then I don't know, maybe they can't do a deal with Fury for the rematch. Well, if you look at the polls, I looked at one the other day. It was like 20,000 votes. It says, who is the best heavyweight? Who do you see as the best heavyweight in the world? It was like 44% Joshua, 40% Tyson Fury, and 6% Deontay Wilder.
Here's a gold for the trouble.
So, although his profile has risen out of Fury fight, it's actually, if you're Tyson Fury now, what deal do you accept to fight Deontay Wilder? He feels like he won the first fight. He should have won the first fight. I don't know. And then you start thinking, do we just make Joshua against Fury?
That's quite the army.
But also, Joshua White it's a really good fight. And I've also got a job to deliver Dylan White a world title shot because he deserves a world title shot. I think we all agree.
I think you can win
on
this
that,
thing.
right? So he's a Brit. He's with us. He deserves a world title shot. Give him the shot.
Is the WBO going to make it mandatory?
Not yet. The mandatory won't be due till September, October. It's the 18 months. But he will. I mean, he will be the guy. You've got Alexander Usyk, who they could put in as mandatory, but
Mandatory for what?
Joshua, because he was a super champion. Cruiserweight. I don't feel that that's the fair thing to do, and I don't think the WBO will go down that route. We're happy for Dillian White to be. I want Dillian White to be the WBO mandatory. He deserves it. So that's the route that we'll be going. And if he doesn't fight him in April, he will be his mandatory anyway in September, October. So, but I want to give Dylan the shot at the world title because otherwise, on one hand you got people saying, "Oh, you're going to put Joshua in with Dillian White," and on the other hand, people saying to me, "Hearn, when are you going to give White a shot at the world heavyweight title?" It's like, fucking hell, I can't. Which one do you want me to do? But our focus is 100% the same. Deontay Wilder. That is the first shot, and it's not like oh, Deontay Wilder's our first choice, and then there's Tyson. It's Deontay Wilder's the first one, and then there's Tyson Fury and Dillian White. Not because they're not great fights, but that's what AJ wants. I'm just telling you what he wants. He wants to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and he can only do that by fighting well.
I know we're always talking about timescales, but April 13th isn't that far away.
No, we need to make a decision by the end of Jan. We need to go on sale first week of Feb. So we've got 4 weeks to do a deal.
But as it stands today,
I would probably say that, judging by the response from the Wilder team, Dillian White is probably the front runner for the next fight. But again, he may turn around and go, I want X, and then we go, fucking hell.
What about Gerald Miller?
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, that's a fight for America. Do you know what I mean?
On what date?
Well, probably May.
Okay.
Keep up the momentum,
Because.
friends.
And are you convinced that, I'll ask you about Brooke Khan in a bit, but that's the alternative fight that you would use for
There's other fights. There's other fights that we're looking at and working on.
What, for Wembley? What, aside from Brooke Khan and anything to do with Joshua? Be quite optimistic, is it? It's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one that I would think will do 100,000. I believe it can do 75. Fucking nose out. And just,
I'm asking. Who
So-
would it be?
it could be a number of people.
How's it going out?
But we've got April the 13th at Wembley, and you only get
you ain't
one
letting-
shot.
you ain't letting that go.
You've got
No.
one shot at Wembley on April, and that's the shot for 2019, April 13th. So, Joshua is the 100% focus for that date at the moment. It's not. But Brooke Khan would also slot nicely into there, and as would maybe another fight that we're looking at as well. But I still think Joshua.
Fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Okay. Brooke Khan.
Nothing really. I mean, it's just whether he fights Crawford or Brook, and it could go either way. I think he is torn really. He wants to fight Brook, but he loves the opportunity to fight Crawford in America.
You met him though before, did you meet him?
No, we spoke on the phone.
Alright.
And we've got another call this afternoon. It's a tough one. You got the lure of Crawford, one of the pound for pound best, and you got one of the biggest British fights in history against Brook, and one that if he doesn't fight Brook, people in this country will always say, "You duck Kell Brook." If he doesn't fight Crawford, no one's going to say anything. No one's going to go, "Oh, you duck Crawford." So I think he should fight Kell Brook.
So nothing really significant happened since the time of the Brook's fight, no. And your gut feeling with this is what?
My gut feeling before the Brook fight was that he wouldn't fight Brook, but my gut feeling now is that he will fight Brook.
But you weren't that optimistic after.
No, I just think that he must look at the Brook fight against the ref and go, "I can beat them." And stop. I think that is what Amir believes. Amir believes he will knock out Kell Brook, and he really believes it after that last fight.
What do you make of these
I
comments?
just think that he would hate to lose. Like, it would kill him to lose to Kell Brook, and actually vice versa. They would both have unhappy retirements if they lost that fight, and that's not a nice thing to know that you're going to be sitting on your couch and you're going to be like, well, you know what that'll be? It'll be a horrible taste in your mouth. You've lost to him, and that has been the thing, in my opinion, holding the fight back. If you lose to Terence Crawford, you lose to Terence Crawford. If you lose to Kell Brook, but that's what makes it such a big fight. That's what makes it so much on the line. The fear of losing to this bloke you can't stand. And I like that. I like that a lot.
What do you make of these comments that Khan came out with the other day about Kell? Was he?
It's going to get worse. There's going to be all sorts flying around if the fight gets made, because they're both incapable of holding their tongue. They're both. When you're so. When something deep, when it bothers you emotionally so much, you say erratic things. You say things you shouldn't. You can tell people getting irate and the way they're talking, and that's where you're at with those guys. So when they come together in a room, I mean, I just want a press conference. I just want a face to face with them two, you know, because it's going to get nasty. No, I'm not even talking about physically. I believe it will get physically nasty as well, but it's going to be horrible. It will be spiteful. There'll be things said that you really shouldn't say to another man, but they will be said, and that's a build-up, you know. And we live for that. You're sitting there now. Look, you've got all the dribble coming out your mouth. You're thinking about the first foot of arm wrestling. Let's just fucking make it happen. Get in a ring. And go by now. We'll do 1, 2, 3. Don't matter. But if you don't take the fight, you will always be referred to as the wider British public as the guy that ducked him.
What's your time scale? I'm going to keep asking you about what's your time scale.
Same, really.
It's got to be announced.
But there'll be a decision much quicker on that.
Yeah.
I thought it would become by the end of this week. It won't be, but it's, you know.
Is there any issue from Brookside about this, or not really? It's whether Khan takes which fight.
Yeah, Brooke, we've still got to finalise a deal with Kel that he's happy with, and we're on the way to doing that. But this is more about which fight Amir will take. You know, there's more money in the Brooke fight than there's the Crawford fight. It's an easier fight. It's the fight that his country won. So give it to him.
Just going back to the show at the O2. Looking back on it, what do you make of the price and little stoppage? Was it fair?
Do you know, when I watched it live, as I do, from here to you, I thought it was a very fair stoppage. When I watched it back, I thought it was a really poor stoppage, to be honest. He got hit on the top of the head and his legs had gone completely. Basically, I think that the referee saved him from being knocked out. But also, he didn't give him an opportunity to try and recover. I don't think he would have recovered. And I've spoke to Tom, I said to him, he said, oh, you should know. I said, Tom, I've got to be honest with you, I think that stoppage saved you. Because I think you'd blown your tank in terms of the opportunity to beat Price. He was gathering a bit of confidence, and I think you were going to get stopped properly. But
don't they want that?
Who?
Doesn't Tom Little? I've spoken to him.
He can say. But any fighter can say, and any fighter will say, I would rather you carried me out of a ring unconscious. But we have to weigh up the fact that I believe he was about to get hurt. He would say, let me get hurt then. But it's easy being barbaric, sitting there watching. The truth is, what do the fans want to see? The fans want to see a knockout. The fans want to see Tom Little out on the canvas. I don't. Do you?
No,
I know.
No, not at all.
But at the same time, you have to, in an opportunity like that, you have to give the guy, and he was protecting himself, and I felt it was a poor stoppage.
I've got sent something today for you.
From Tom Little.
From Tom Little. So, where is he?
Is it a video?
So I'll play it on here. Just press play and watch that.
Still got a black eye.
Hello, Reddy. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Me and the little engineers just off down to the job centre. And the food bank. Because we really don't know what else we're going to do now. So, if you have any spaces on your show, please.
These are bastard. I've got rate for Tom Little. I think he's a good fighter. I've got him a fight pretty much on one of our Italian shows.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm working on. So hopefully get him that in February or March next year.
I mean, they pretty much dismissed the rematch.
Yeah, I mean, I want to box
Price.
Yeah,
Price
I
wants
think
to
that
go on.
Price.
Price and who?
I don't know. I mean, I like Price against Lucas Brown. I feel like Price needs one more significant international step up, and then throw him in the deep end. I know a lot of people. I know. Yeah, Price Chisora, Price Takan. I mean, I know a lot of people.
You're doing great out there.
Have given up on David Price, but one I find, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Pricey. I think he's fucking entertaining because he's probably the hardest puncher in the division, and he's also susceptible to being knocked spark out. I mean,
It's good to get some minions.
everyone loves watching Price because he hits so hard. And he has been sensationally KO'd and can be at any moment. That's not the best for a fighter, but from a selfish point of view, I love having him on my shows because he's entertaining. From a personal point of view, I also like having him on my shows because I think he's a really nice bloke and I think he's an honest pro. So I like giving him the opportunities, and I just feel like if he could just get on a little bit of a run, he may do something. But
You're doing great.
he's always one defeat away or one KO away from saying that's your lot. But the problem is when you get knocked out by Povetkin, and he said it well in the press conference. If he got knocked out by Tom Little, that's it. He's done. You know. And even against Kuzmin, he retired because he was fucked basically.
Welcome back.
But he got knocked out by Povetkin, who is top 5 heavyweight in the world in my opinion.
It's not the
So-
strongest, but it'll fight hard.
And we've got a big Liverpool show March 30th, and I want him to be on there. I want him to be in a good fight. And you know, the division is fascinating, and you're only ever one big win away from something major. I mean, I'd like to see Fury against Price.
Does that fight make sense for Tyson?
No, not at the moment, but I'm just saying that. I'm
Right,
not,
we should have saw.
I know, but I'm not
years
saying
ago,
now.
but
I'm
we
just
didn't.
saying. Say he went in with Takam, or say he went in with, I don't know, Parker, or so, and beat one of those guys. I just think that certain styles are going to suit him. Certain styles aren't. But I just enjoy. Call me mad. Call me deluded. I enjoy watching Price fight. Do you?
I do.
And I think
you're right in what you're
in
saying.
Liverpool, let's put him on that card. It's going to be a great card on the 30th. Let's give him a good fight and let's see what can happen. He deserves it, you know. I mean, but he jumped in against Povetkin and he jumped in against Kuzmin at late notice. So, you know.
Have you got anything kind of with Chisora now? I know he's kind of with Hay, but
It's
have you
good to
got
get some minions.
No.
any obligation to do anything with
Fight,
Chisora?
no.
But if he obviously welcome
I'd love,
him,
yeah, like, I mean,
back on.
yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because people say, oh, he should retire now, and yet others say, well, hang on a minute, he was winning the fight against Dillian White going into the 11th round. Maybe there's more to come. It was a bad knockout, but again, you know, from a business point of view, Chisora's always in great fights. He's highly entertaining, and people like him a lot. And from a personal point of view, I like Derek a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, Dylan the same. Dylan probably, you know, like he said, the things that he wants to do to me and all that sort of stuff, but he probably doesn't know it as much as,
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out.
or at all. But I'm behind these guys. I've got his back. You know, I'm fighting for these guys, and I want to deliver. And Chisora, same. Now, when he got the Takev fight, when he knocked Takev out, see my celebration. Fake, like, doesn't. He could have fucked off and done something with someone else. I was pleased for him, you know, because I like Chisora, and he's fucking murder to deal with, murder.
Minions really
But
pulled their
I like him a lot, and I have a huge amount of respect for him. And it's the same with Pricey.
That's
So certain fighters, that you want to see him do well. And it ain't really about the money or the future. It's just that moment in time. I'm pleased for you. And I was pleased for Pricey. I was actually a bit disappointed for Pricey that it was a bit like, oh, because he wanted that thrill of winning. And I feel as though it was taken away from him a little bit.
It's good to get some minions in play.
So, but we'll see what he does on March 30th.
What about the real number one heavyweight in the world?
Who's that one?
The White Rhino.
The White Rhino, I mean, the original plan is to do White Rhino against Lucas Brown, April 13th at Wembley.
But?
Nothing but Price would like to fight him, but I want to deliver that. He texted me the other day, White Rhino, he says, I want Brown, Takam, Price, or Chisora.
Let's see if you can.
Still would have been interesting if Dave Allen had fought that Gashi, who Takam fought. That would have been interesting.
He's a handful, mate. That Gashi is a fucking tough bastard. And the worst thing is, I feel bad because he kept looking at me, Gashi. Obviously, he took the fight on like 3 or 4 days' notice. And he kept looking at me as if to say, have you had enough now? I'm thinking, how about me? Have you had enough? So I was like encouraging him to keep going because he was having success in the fight as well. And he kept going. In the end, he got chinned. He was fine. But I felt a bit bad because I was almost encouraging him on. And he was like trying to impress us to get another shot. And hand on heart, he's 100% getting another shot with us, mate, because he's fucking great. Gashi, he's a fucking lunatic. He's tough, mate. With a proper camp in him, he's a handful. So yeah, we were going to make Dave Allen against Gashi. That would have been a tough night's work.
That was the original opponent for the
For
Newcastle.
Yeah. But I like Sean Gashi. A nice man, fucking tough.
Are you going to do anything more with Takam or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Takam's. I mean, when you look at the fighters that we're working with in the heavyweight division, some under contract, some fight by fight. Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Jarrell Miller, Derek Chisora, Alexander Povetkin, Joseph Parker, Dave Allen, David Price, Senad Gashi, Carlos Takam. So fucking loads of them. And we'd like to stick some of those in with each other. I don't know. Povetkin against Parker. Povetkin against
Everyone's gunning for you.
Dave Allen.
Watch out.
Parker against Chisora. Parker against Allen. Gashi against Price. Jarrell Miller against Dillian White. That's a big fight. Dillian White against Jarrell Miller. Big fight. Actually, in an ideal world, I'd like to go Joshua Wilder, White against Miller.
same night.
Oh yeah, steady.
What? Same night?
Yeah?
You're all about the fans.
Am I? Again, doesn't matter if I'm about the fans or not.
Really
I
raging
can't.
out there.
I don't make the decisions. I don't dictate what a fighter
Like we're
wants,
done with this.
money-wise.
How many pay-per-views do you think you'll have next year?
I
in this
didn't like
country?
that one either. Here's a gold for the trouble.
5?
So you get 6 this year, yeah?
Did we? Yeah. So we had Joshua Parker, Joshua Povetkin, White Parker, White Chisora, Bellew Usyk, and Bellew Hay. Yeah, 6.
6. So
We're going to start a little bit later. Normally we'd do a pay-per-view in February or March, but I think our first one will be April. You've got Eubank de Gal, Feb 23rd. That's an ITV pay-per-view, and then we'll probably go April, probably with the first one, unless something pops up in March, but I don't think so. So we'll probably go April, May, June, September. Could be 4. It's not. Again,
Sorry
it's
about
not
the
like
peanut shells on the floor.
Sky say to us,
These
we
minions
want
are
6
sorry.
pay-per-views, we want 5. It's case by case.
when the fight's
Yeah,
going on.
could be 3. I hope not.
What did you make of the Buatsi win? Because,
It's. Are you talking about the stoppage?
well, just the fact of the punch before.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were in a clinch and they were trading when the ref said stop boxing. So it's hard to just, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's gunning
And
for you.
he's a fucking
Watch out.
animal, Buatsi.
How many rounds did he do with Eubank?
Who?
Quinlan. Did it go in
10?
distance?
No, 9 or 10. Like that. But when Buatsi starts to unload, mate, he's an animal. He's an animal. So good fighter. He's such a good fighter. Good fighter. And I said to Yard on the night, and again, like, I know that I like Yard. I think he's great for boxing. I think he looks the part. He's a good fighter. I don't know him personally, but I like his swag. I just believe that Buatsi is just on another, and it's not just about being on another level to Yard. He's just on another level, full stop. So what I'm saying is in that I'm saying, okay, we've got a situation here. Buatsi is a bit of a BT, Frank Warren, sort of like one of the diamonds or main guys. So is Buatsi for us. So let's not deprive them of an opportunity. I mean, all this stuff, yeah, we can do on Sky. Here's another example. You can't say that for one fight, like Fury, and not say that for another fight. So Callum Johnson looks to be getting a big fight in the US. The board have told us, and we have said to the board, please make Buatsi against Yard for the British title. But
currently it's Johnson and Buatsi.
Correct.
Which is not going to happen.
Well, there's a fight for Callum in the States, which is good money, great opportunity.
What you said?
Yeah, Shawnee Monahan to get himself in a great position in New York, and I think that's a great fight for him. So
not on the bill you've got coming up.
No, February.
Right.
So if that happens, which is likely, the board will order Buatsi against Yard unless they're told by Yard's camp not to put them forward for that fight. So I just went up to Yard, he was at the O2 show, and I said, mate, please don't pull out that fight. Because we're not going to agree a deal. Let it go at first bid. They're both going to make a fortune for that fight. Because you'll have Sky and BT bidding, and you have my word, we will not pull Buatsi out of that fight.
What if you lost the first
Correct.
bid? Okay.
So if we lose the first bid, good luck to Buatsi, he's going to make a fortune. And it's a great fight.
If, for example, an opportunity came up for like a Baturbiev for Buatsi, like for Johnson, would you stick Buatsi in?
Not yet, no.
No.
Because he's done, his last 3 fights have gone 3 rounds.
Yeah.
He's never been past the 6th, I think. So he needs a couple of those. You know, Callum had the Frank Bugliano fight. I know that only went a round, but still, Callum went 10 or 11 rounds for the Commonwealth title in a tough fight. And I just think Buatsi needs. I believe Buatsi can beat Beterbiev now, but it's one of them because we just don't know, do we? And I'm not going to do one of them at the moment with what I believe could be one of the next great British stars of boxing in Buatsi. We just got to get it right. So, and everybody's a different circumstance, you know, in terms of putting fighters in fight. I just think the Yard fight is a brilliant all-British fight. Brilliant fight. And it's a tough fight. I'm not saying Buatsi, you know, Buatsi strolls through him, but I just think Buatsi's honestly.
Gutted that Buglioni retired. I know, obviously, what happened in Monaco and that, but the Buglioni again, there were some fights there that he could have still had.
I mean, look, Yard should have boxed Burton. That's the truth of it, right? Because you can't sit there. I mean, I saw his interview when he said, "Who knows Jose Burton?" And you, for once, actually asked him, "So, well, who knows the geezer you just boxed?" He said, "Well, outside of Britain, you know, he's known in Argentina." I'm like, what? Who's feeding you this? Because the truth is Yard would be a favourite against Burton. So, if you're fighting guys no one's ever heard of, why wouldn't you fight Burton? Who your whole country's heard of? Actually, a fight that people could get excited about. But a lot of these fighters get told things, and they just. And Billy Joe's another. I'll come back on a Billy Joe in a minute, but I just sometimes listen to them things like, who's telling you that?
How's it going out there?
So Yard's in a position where he's number 3 in the world in the WBO, yet he's not going to take a world class fight. So you might as well take a domestic fight if you're not going to. He's kind of stuck in the middle. But we'll see what happens. Maybe his team don't want to fight Buatsi. I wouldn't blame them. But that for me is a brilliant fight, and they both make a lot of money. And it's a big all-British fight, and Buatsi's ready. He's ready to take that fight next, no problem.
What about Billy Joe?
I just watched his interview last night. I mean, it just baffles me sometimes. And again, you know how I feel about Billy Joe, and I like him a lot, but what? It's like, yeah, you know, well, Eddie Hearn and, you know, you don't like Frank Warren. What the fuck's that got to do with it? You failed a VADA test. Yeah, but it was, I didn't do anything wrong with the British Boxing Board of Control. It's irrelevant. You signed up for a VADA test. You failed a VADA test. It's not, I didn't say one word to the Boston or the Massachusetts Commission. I didn't have any influence, negative or positive. I let them get on with it. And the truth is, they couldn't license him. He just failed a VADA test. I feel sorry for him, and I 100% believe Billy Joe that he didn't knowingly take performance-enhancing drugs. I believe that, because I don't think he's that kind of person. I think, and a lot of what he says in the interview, which is, if you beat me, I'll shake your hand fair and square, and I believe Billy Joe's a stand-up person. But where do you draw the line? Someone failed a drug test. You can't start saying, oh yeah, but you know, I was tired and you know, I dropped up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you were cheating, not cheating. You failed. So now when he says I asked to be signed up to the Mew fight, I asked to be signed up to the William Monroe fight, I believe him. I believe he wants VADA testing, but you can't sign up for VADA testing, fail, and then go, oh yeah, but hang on, I passed one a couple of days later, and Eddie Hearn didn't book a flight for me, and yeah, so, but...
What do you think the WBO will do with this, with Billy Joe? Do you think they will make it mandatory for Andrade?
I don't know. I'm happy for that.
Why don't you just make the fight? You like the fight.
We can make that fight, but it won't get made, because you've gone from he's going to make millions of dollars to he's going to make nowhere near that. I don't know, but
so the only way the fight really happens is if they make.
No, we can make the fight. We can make the fight anyway. But I just, you know, again, like I haven't seen his dad's interview that he did, but it's like, well, it's Eddie Hearn's fault. How the fuck do you? How is it Eddie Hearn's fault? What did I do? Come and stick this thing up your nose, squirt it, and go, ha ha. No, you failed a VADA test. If Andrade failed a VADA test, he'd be out. It doesn't matter whether he's promoted by Eddie Hearn, fucking Sid Snot, whoever. You can't blame other people. How I've ended up getting a blame for this is absolutely beyond me. This is on another level. It's like, well, it's Eddie Hearn, wasn't it? How? Well, you stopped that fight. No. You failed a VADA drugs test, and it got put before the commission, who refused to license it. It's so straightforward that, but I will stress again, I believe Billy Joe. I do. And I think he's been unlucky, but you are responsible for what you put in your body.
Which he did say.
Yeah, no, he said it, you know, but you can't, there's no one else to blame. There's one person to blame in this, Billy Joe Saunders. And mate, it's really harsh and it's tough, but who else? You know, what do you want to start doing? Blaming his trainer, blaming his coaching mates, blaming some other bloke who told him it was right to say. Where does it stop? You know, but you are responsible, no one else. But also, I would also like to say, do you think, you know me, right? What, and it was a big fight for DAZN, right? What fight do you think I would have preferred on that night? Honestly.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't...
Yeah, no,
right, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Financially, it didn't change one thing for me because the Zone were paying for it.
People, the funny thing was people think, oh, Hearn saved himself a couple of quid.
The Zone paid for those purses,
it makes
right?
no difference to you financially
No,
whatsoever.
I didn't make $1
Yeah.
more. Now you can say, yeah, but you had more chance of having a world champion.
Maybe,
you
maybe.
know, you know me, right? What fight would I have preferred to see?
I would say that you would have preferred Andrade to fight Saunders, definitely.
Yeah.
But there is that element of, not that you've had a touch with Andrade,
but you still get people saying now, well, he's not really a real world champion. I don't want that. I would have rather he boxed Billy Joe. One, it was great for DAZN. Two, it would have been a really good fight. And 3, if Andrade would have won, which I believe he could have done and would have done, then we've got a real asset. Honestly, you think that I preferred Andrade against Carlton Doppler than Andrade against Billy Joe Saunders? This was a fight that I was fucking horny for, you know? So for people to say, oh, it was Earns, wasn't it? Earns done that. Fucking hell. That's unbelievable.
What is the situation? Obviously, what do you want to do with Andrade? He's got Akhov, obviously.
I want him to go into big unification fights, but we know the division is somewhat consolidated with 2 champions, 3 champions: Andrade, Canelo, and Danny Jacobs. 100%. We want Danny Jacobs against Canelo on May 4th. I believe the Zone want that.
You believe that will happen?
We've got to do a deal, but I think that there's enough.
Has Andrade been mentioned for Canelo?
No, not yet. So, but he's probably 2 fights away from fighting those guys. I want to get him active again. So he'll fight January the 18th. Then there'll probably be a mandatory on him. There will be. I don't know. Again, I'm not the WBO. So, like Frank Warren has had a golden relationship with the WBO for 20 years. Yeah. All of a sudden, I come in, and apparently, I control the WBO. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know. Like, people saying, well, who's the manager going to be? I don't know. I'm presuming it's going to be Billy Joe Saunders. But he has only fought once against Charles Dano, and he weighed 180 pounds.
You can't tell from the rankings then who they could install as the mandatory. No. But obviously, it's Billy Joe Saunders' situation.
I don't even know where Billy Joe's ranked, to be honest with you.
I think you can win this thing.
I mean, if you take it from a rankings point of view, so if you take it from a rankings point of view,
Good at this.
number 1 is David Lemieux. Right?
Okay.
Now, he failed to make weight the other day, obviously pulled out the day before.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Jack Colquhoun.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Stephen Butler. Billy Joe's not even ranked because he's banned.
He's got 6 months.
6 months
with the WBO.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop him from fighting, but within their rankings.
So I think that they'll order a mandatory in January, straight after the fight. So I don't even think it can be Billy Joe, personally. But just do me a favour, if it's not Billy Joe, can you not blame me? The mandatory is David fucking Hearn again. Can't believe it.
Okay, moving away from this, what a moment for Charlie Edwards.
Yes, unbelievable.
Becoming WBC flyweight champion. I mean, the scenes afterwards in the dressing room were incredible. But yeah, Charlie Edwards, who obviously had that Casimiro fight, how many years ago now? 3 years ago?
Done a book club.
Right, 2-3 years ago. Just kind of kept on the down low a little bit, Charlie Edwards.
Yeah, a lot of these fighters
Back up and turn it around.
stay really patient, and a lot of the times you get to a stage where you think, fuck, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is me, by the way, not the fighters. And I got that with Bellew before I got the Makabu shot. Like, I tried absolutely everything, and you get to a stage where you think, fuck, and you find out, look, I'll get you, don't worry. Rocky Fielding was a bit like that before the Zoiga fight. You know, you're trying so hard, all these doors are closing on you, and you're looking at the landscape thinking, what am I going to do? And it was the same with Charlie. Cal didn't want to fight him, and then I'm thinking, fuck. And then we start looking at the flyweights. He's already moved up to super flyweight. We had Muthalem Bev, who was an IBF champion, flyweight champion.
They want that fight?
No, well, they want it now. We was up fighting and made them an offer. They said, no, we don't want to fight Charlie Edwards. Fuck. Then I offered the kid who he beat Rosales, the fight. He wanted too much money, and in the end, but I just thought, you know what, just give it to him, because Charlie needs a shot, and I can't, you know, to put him in another WBA Intercontinental fight, I've got to put him in. So we paid up, and he delivered, and I'm so pleased with him, because everyone knows his mum's not well and stuff like that, but the personal sacrifice that he's put into boxing, and he works harder than, it's hard because there's so many people work so hard in boxing, but I genuinely believe that if you put that kind of work in, and hello, if you put that kind of work in, you will be rewarded. Sport's a brutal place in that a lot of things in life you can put the hard work in, and you know that if you put that work in, you've got to get the rub of the green, but it will pay off for you. I mean, look at you. Zero fucking talent, but you've put the work in. Yeah? So that's a great example out there to people. You can be talentless. Yeah? But if you put the work in, you're a shining light of example. But with sport.
What? Sorry, just remind me what your talent.
Yeah.
Remind me what your talent is again.
My talent,
yeah,
is I have great business acumen. But I'm actually the same as you. Right? I'm not the most talented. I'm not the cleverest person you ever meet. But I refuse to be outworked. There's no excuse for that. You will not outwork me.
You know, I
promise you. And you're the same.
Yeah, I would have interviewed you on Christmas Day if you did.
Yeah, but you're the same. You won't be outworked. Those people are very hard to beat. And that sometimes ability is substituted by hard work. And that's probably, we're in the same bracket. But in sport, it don't work like that. You know, you can't just say, I work harder than everybody else. If you're not good enough, mate, you ain't good enough. But once you get quality and you get ability with hard work, it's tough to beat. And Charlie works so hard. He is absolute life. You know what? It's really nice. I mean, I'll have to warn him about milking it too much, but it's really nice to just open up social media and see the smile on his face. You know? His life is complete, really. You understand? Like, you know what boxing means to Charlie Edwards. He can sit there with that on his wall. He's a WBC champion of the world. Fuck the money. Fuck everything. He could live in a fucking tent. As long as that belt's with him in the wall. Mate, that moment. You imagine you worked all your life. We don't really, normal people don't really get to that point, do we? What is that point? Is it 20 million views? Or however many you've done?
Is it selling
Wembley at? Yeah, but same thing. No, but is it doing a unit of undisputed fight at Wembley? No, because it's never ending, isn't it? But that's the ultimate, that's the pinnacle. And I can't tell you how rewarding it is to be, I mean, my old man was in bits. He was like crying his eyes out. Charlie Edwards is like his new favourite because he went in the change room, obviously he presented his mum with the bell, and it's very, very sad. But I can't tell you how rewarding it is to see someone achieve so much happiness in their life, you know? Because money's money, and we have to make him as much money as we can now, because I want to give him the best life financially that we can. But you can have as much money as you want, mate. If you ain't happy with the skin you're in, and you ain't happy inside yourself, you're the fucking poorest man in the world. And he now has got that feeling inside him for life. And that's really nice to know. I know that when Charlie retires from the sport of boxing, whatever happens from now, he will be a happy man. But now, let's see how much money we can make. And I know people find it boring talking about that. What the fuck? That's my job. Right? He ain't earned a lot of money. He's a flyweight. But let's make sure he maintains his position, looks at unifications, maybe steps up and fights Cow. I don't know. But it is, I can't tell you how rewarding it is just to see that young man with that feeling of total happiness and complete that you can't buy. You can't. It's something completely within that 99% of us in the world search for. That feeling of my life is the best. And when have you done that in your life? I ain't done it yet. I feel like I've got a great life. I'm happy, but when can you honestly sit back and say, we should do that?
Last night.
With what? I don't want to know about your private life. But it's like, we should do it, shouldn't we? Because we should all sit back with our families and go, look at this. But you're always striving, aren't you? To get to where you want to be, to achieve more, to be happy. And he's got that feeling. And he could sat back that night and said, I know it's a little bit dour, but if the good Lord took me now.
How do I attract all these minions?
I've done it.
2 words. Funnel.
And that feeling you can't buy. You can't buy. Total feeling of happiness and completeness, fulfillment. And we should probably all lower our expectations in terms of that feeling, because sometimes you strive too much for that feeling. You forget what you have got. You know?
It's true.
Where really you should sit around with your missus and kids and go, I'm fucking complete. Look, this is it, mate. But sometimes we forget the important things to strive for success and personal goals, rather than looking back at the bigger picture and saying, mate, you are complete, you are fulfilled, look at your life. That's the problem. But that's the problem with life. That's something you have to be very careful of. And I'm very mindful of that as well. Because you can be so goal-oriented that you forget about the important things in life. You forget about the important people in life. You make sacrifices that are going to sacrifice time with your family, or your ability to just communicate with people. And that's what you got to be careful about. He was so personally driven that he's probably done all that. He's made all those sacrifices, but he's got there. He's got to the chosen land. But I think that we all need to make sure that we don't lose sight of life. What's it? Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do 60 shows next year. I want to be number 1 promoter. I want to build a family business here. Well, why not, mate? What about making sure that your kids are happy, your missus is happy, you watch them grow up, you've formed that special bond without just being 100% goal orientated. At the same time, you've got to be selfish to be successful. You can't do what you do, and I can't do what I do without it jeopardising personal time. And Charlie the same. But you have to be selfish, but you mustn't lose sight of life and what it's all about. Because I swear to you, you will sit there one day, and I will probably do the same, even now, without even taking this all on, and go, should have probably spent a bit more time with kids. Or should have probably talked to my mum a little bit more.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
You know what? My granddad, he's 91. I should have got around there a little bit more, you know? But you don't. Life is just. It's a rat race, you know? But it's not about. And I think a lot of the time it's not really about money. It's about goals, not wanting to be beaten, competitive instinct, how far you can take the company, how much you can grow. That's the challenge to me. For me, it's a personal thing because it's a family business. And it's something that I'm very proud of, and I refuse to be beaten. But at what point do you go, do you know what? That's why I always feel that I'll probably walk away from boxing. Don't get too excited, not yet. But listen, I ain't Bob Arum. You won't see me 87. Imagine, we'll probably do an interview in 87. Because I just think, it's the most captivating, bizarre, dramatic job you could ever have being a boxing promoter. But it deprives you of so many things. So how long are you prepared to be deprived for? You know, we always have this conversation, oh, so, I don't know, 3 years, 5 years, who knows? That was 5 years ago. So, I don't know, I'm not going anywhere for 5 years or longer, but at some point, you've got to enjoy yourself. You ain't got, you know, you can't take your eye off the ball in this game. You can't go on holiday for 2 weeks with your kids and just, the same with you, and just think, oh, you know what, fuck that, I'll turn my phone off. It's impossible. You turn it back on, he's signed with someone else, the bloke you've just signed over there is fucking taking another fight. He's done, it's like, so, but don't get me wrong, it's the most addictive thing in the world. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing it. But, this has gone really deep now. But we all must remember, what is life? Life is over before you know it. You've always got to think about what you'd think when you know the end is coming. That's what I think. You've got to say to yourself, what would I be thinking? It's pretty obvious what you'd be thinking, wouldn't it? Why did I fucking do so many interviews with Cooper Gadsden? How many hours have we spent doing that? Anyway, that's my deepest in the day.
Like a bit of
But I just no, but I just think that you get so wrapped up with things, don't you? So Charlie Edwards, that's the feeling I get with Charlie Edwards. I'm jealous that one day, when it's all said and done, he will say,
But Darren Barker does now.
same thing.
Can you just touch on the rest of the show?
So we've done Bellotti, yeah, Bellotti, you know, Reece Bellotti had a job as an electrical engineer. I mean, he'll probably have a go at me for saying that. He was extremely senior, very bright individual on film sets. Okay? And he was on really good money, and he's fully qualified. He can walk back into that job tomorrow. But he won 2 ABA championships. He come to see me. He said, "I want to turn pro, but I'm making good money." I said, "Reece, if you don't do this, you will never know what might have been." Same kind of thing. You'll sit back one day on your deathbed and go, "Fucking should have turned pro, you know? Fuck the film and being an engineer." So he did it, and he got to what, 10, 11 and 0. Then he won a WBC International. Then he won the Commonwealth title, beating Jason Cunningham. Great night. And then he lost to Ryan Dorr. And I think that he just got carried away a little bit with the fact that he was Bomber Bellotti, he was a massive puncher, he could walk through people. Then he came back with a win at the Copper Box, and then he boxed Ryan Walsh, who is really a European level fighter. And Chris did really well. He lost by 4 rounds, I thought. But wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough for Ryan. And Reece now has to look at his future and say, look, I've done absolutely everything I can. I've got some great memories. I've won the Commonwealth title, I lost the British title. I haven't spoken to him since, but I think he may walk away. I'm supporting him whatever. I just feel that he's achieved a lot in his boxing career, and he's got that other life that he can go back to. You know, he's got a lovely missus, he's got a beautiful son. So, and he's been involved in some big nights. So we'll have to see what Reece wants to do. For Ryan Walsh, I'd like to see him get a big fight, to be honest. I'd even like the Jordan Gill fight, but I feel like Walsh wants to move on to European or world level fights. He's getting on himself. Who else was on the card? Oh, Fabio Wardley.
Everywhere.
Yeah, really liked him. Really liked him. I mean, he was on early.
Sparring with Dylan, wasn't
Yeah, really exciting young heavyweight. And obviously Pacquiao. Good fight. I mean, for 3 rounds it was a fucking stinker. And then they just started going toe to toe. And good win for Takao. Listen, he's got a future. He's got a future. But all in all, really good show.
How many
really
buys?
Show. You know, I'm not going to tell you that. But it was solid. It was solid.
Was it more than Value Cleverly?
Yes. Do you even know what that done?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. No, it was strong. It was strong.
Was it?
Was it what? What?
Is it
Go
a
on.
conspiracy?
Because I'm not. It's not my place to say numbers, but I can, you know.
Well, you're not happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy. We definitely
What did the Parker thing do? Just was that the same?
Your minions
Or was it
really
less?
pulled their weight.
less.
All right. Okay.
But this was more.
Expected
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to
yeah.
be
But
more.
we're up at, look, I mean, listen, the Clash. By the way, I think the Clash,
Done. What are you going to say? Done.
no, I think it worked.
Go ahead and hire
I
one
think
of these recruits.
it got Frank a lot of publicity. And it wasn't ideal for anyone. Like I said, I reckon we lost 30,000 buys to that fight. Something like that.
How are you coming up with that?
I like where
Because it's
you're going with
probably...
this.
Because I know the number that we did was probably 30,000 less than I hoped it would do. And I think it would have done if there was no Clash. I'm
They
pretty...
were both great fights.
They were both... Yeah, I
Frank
haven't seen them.
Warrington
I've seen the
was a brilliant
highlights.
fight.
Frampton Warrington looked brilliant. They were both, it was a big win for British boxing. And by the way, there's going to be clashes all the time. Right, first clash of the year. Let's get it out of it. Frank Warren is doing a show on February 23rd, and so are ITV with Eubank the Gap. There's a clash, and I'm not involved in the clash. Are we going to see this over the papers? Are we going to see this every? It is my fault. But there's going to be clashes. So,
Hey ho. Look, yeah.
but look, let's take the positives. The positives were we done a load of buys. I'm sure they did a load of buys as well. We had a sold out arena, 19,000. I know that they didn't sell out. They done a really good crowd. Both brilliant fights. Everyone that went to that fight had an amazing time. Everyone that watched on TV got value for money. Everyone who went to the O2 had an amazing time. Everyone that watched on TV got value for money.
Win-win.
Win-win. But, as I always said, it's never.
Two pay-per-view
It's
shows.
unusual.
First time ever? Two.
In Britain, I believe. Yeah. I don't think you're going to see loads of pay-per-view clashes. I think you're going to see loads of Saturday night. Yeah.
Give me stats of your fighters. I'm not saying we're specifically going to go through everyone.
That show?
No, look at the show.
No, I mean, look, we've got loads of fights to talk about, but I just feel that 2019 is the year where the transition takes place between the guys who are in the final stages of their career. We've had this conversation before. Amir Khan, Kelbrook, even Crolla. I mean, these aren't guys that their career's over, by the way, but they're in the last...
What's happening with Crolla and
Crolla's
Lomba?
mandatory to Lomachenko, so there'll be negotiations now, which haven't been exactly fluent, and then there'll be a purse bid probably, or we can agree a deal. But, you know, those guys, Quigg, you know, the guys who used to headline on Saturday Night Fight Night come into the final stages of their career. It doesn't mean they won't headline again, but it's time for the new kids to come through and step up into those positions. You saw Ritson do that. He lost, so he'll come back. Josh Kelly, Ted Cheeseman, Buatsi. These are guys who need to start headlining, you know, a Coley in big fights. Fowler, Fitzgerald.
But these are going to be having big fights on your
Yeah, and
February show?
these are the guys, particularly Cheeseman, Buatsi and Kelly, who need to step up to headline now on Saturday Night Fight Nights, and we need to invest in them. Sky need to invest in them as the new guys, because when Crawler started out, when Quigg started, this was the same thing. You know, you get your break headlining and then you kick on from there. You've got a brilliant light middleweight triangle. Cheeseman is in a fucking tough fight against Sergio Garcia for the European title. But if he comes through that, you've got Fowler Fitzgerald March 30th in Liverpool. Brilliant fight. The winner will fight the winner of that fight. Now we've got some nice things going. You know, hopefully we get Boatsy against Yard, or Boatsy against Burton, or wherever it's going to be. Josh Kelly fights Abanisian, which will be a nice little bit of needle now between those two. And that's the new era of fighters. And not just those guys, by the way. Joe Cordina, Conor Benn, Kez Ashfaq. You know, all the kids coming out of the Olympic teams, it's time to step up. Some will be good enough, some won't be. If you look at that crop, we took 4 fighters from the Olympics, the Olympic setup of 2012, to World Championship. Charlie Edwards, Cal Yafai, Callum Smith and Anthony Joshua. 4 fighters from their pro debut to World Championship. The others all did really well. Gamal Yafai won Commonwealth title. Scotty Cardle won British title. Who else was there? Waldy won British, Commonwealth, European titles. So that it's kind of like that's the level, the minimum level you're going to get to. But who out of this crop is going to go on to win world championships? Is it going to be Josh Kelly? Is it going to be Watsy? Is it going to be Fowler? Cheeseman? All of them. But they're the guys now that we have to start getting behind as the new wave coming through.
Okay.
How long have we been going?
A long time.
Was it?
Can I ask you about Josh Warrington? What great year he's had, Ed?
Yeah, I texted him the other day and I just said, you're a boy, you are, or something like that. I mean, even when I had Josh, I always believed he could beat Lee Selby, right? And I wanted to make that fight. I didn't think that he would necessarily go on and beat Frampton and be as good as he has become, to be honest. Another guy who works really, really hard. And another guy, really, if you look at Sean O'Hagan, his dad, no real credible boxing training history. No, I'm not, same with Ben Davison, but actually emerged as the right person to take those specific people to the best they can be, And I think Sean deserves a lot of credit. Josh has done brilliant. Steve Wood's done a good job. Nice people, to be honest. I ain't got a bad word to say about them. And I wouldn't say, maybe it surprised me. Like I said, always felt he'd beat Selby. I just felt that Selby was there for the taking at featherweight, and Josh has got a really exciting style.
Who's your
and I'm pleased with him because, listen, he would have made, I don't know what he made. Deep 7 figures for the Frampton fight. So he's made a lot of money, and I don't have, so I wish people well. I really do, and I'm really pleased for Josh Warrington. Big guy for Frampton, really. Quite like Frampton, and I think he gives everything to the sport of boxing. I think he'll probably retire now. Don't know.
Who's been your fighter of 2019?
Internationally or domestically?
You can do both.
Alexander Usyk.
Okay.
I don't think anybody could go against him. When you talk about domestic world champions, Warrington's got to be up there.
Warrington, Callum Smith.
Yeah, Callum. Callum's win was more impressive than Warrington's standout win, but Callum had the Groves fight and the Holzen fight, so Warrington's wins over Selby and Frampton were impressive. And then, you know, domestically, I think Buatsi's had a great year, although he hasn't beaten, you know, world-ranked fighters. I think he's been super impressive. So AJ's had a great year. He beat Parker and Povetkin this year. Has unified the heavyweight division and boxing is mandatory. Fury.
Dylan White's had a good year.
Dylan White's had a great year.
Fury.
I mean, Dillion's beaten Brown, Parker, and Chisora. That's consistently right up there with all the heavyweights. No, I think it's been another great year. Great year.
Who's your promoter of the year?
This fat geezer from Essex.
What did you win the other day?
What did I win? Like dismissing it. Like
No, what did you win?
I won the WBA
Fair enough.
promoter of the year, and I've got another one dropping today. It's actually quite major. So fuck you.
What is it?
I'll tell you later because it might not be out. It's actually quite big.
What is it? Another organisation?
No,
Ring?
no. The Ring
You've
don't do
already
a promoter of the year.
been there, done that. You were a Ring magazine promoter of the year.
No,
Were you not?
they don't do a promoter of the year.
What were you then?
Just on I was a cover shoot. Cover star.
What are you winning now?
It's quite a good one. It's not out yet. Let me check if it's out. I liked it. I put that. I retweeted and reposted that WBA thing. People put in, "Fucking hell, you love yourself, Hearn. You're promoting yourself." It's like, mate, I want promoter work. Yeah, I've got to tell you, I work my fucking bollocks off. So when I get something like that, fuck you. I'm gonna shout about it. Let me just see.
I might do some awards next year.
You should do.
In 100 years' time, we could be as big as the
Hold on.
fight for the IFL
No,
title.
not yet. It's not out yet.
Just show me so I'll know.
Yeah.
So I can see how credible it is.
Alright, I'll tell you, and you tell me how credible it is.
I'm going to rate it from a 1 to 10.
Bearing in mind, it's like US focus as well.
Fair enough.
So start there. Look, read that.
Alright, to be fair, that's pretty big. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so don't mug me off.
I just wondered what it was.
What's your goals for the new year?
More shows, less sleep.
What do you want to do though? What?
I don't know. I've never known what I'm doing if you haven't really worked it out.
It's a tough one, isn't it? You're like,
I just want to keep going.
do you know someone said to me yesterday? I was talking to someone and they were. This is going to sound really weird, but they like Batman, right? They're like, I don't know, 30, but they like Batman, so they got a lot of Batman stuff, right? And I always sort of say to them, fucking Batman, what are you like, 6? They said, no, it's just something that, you know, I loved as a kid and, you know, I always get a few little Batman bits, you know, I'm thinking. And then they went to me, what's your thing? Like, what are you into? And I went, what do you mean? And they went, what are you into? Like, in life? You know, what? I went, boxing. They went, yeah, but away from work. Like, what are you into? And I sort of went, well, family, my kids. I went, yeah, no, obviously, but you must have something that, you know, you follow or you've got a massive interest in or something that makes you smile or happy. I'm like, well, when you were growing up as a kid, what, mate, I was just lost. I don't know where I'm going with this, but have you got anything? Or it's like, you're Arsenal, I suppose, isn't it? That's your thing.
Football was my thing, yeah.
I haven't really got that.
You're
It's a
not
bit
really-
worrying, really.
Spider-Man? I don't know.
I did say He-Man. Do you remember He-Man?
Yeah, he
Right, who remembers
The
He-Man?
Castle of Grayskull.
Yes.
Yes.
Skeletor.
Skeletor.
But remember, the last action figure I remember from He-Man. Bear in mind, this is my old house.
Name me some characters.
In He-Man.
Do you remember the thing
Cat.
you wrote on? Yeah. Battle Cat.
Mate.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Now, I only know Battle Cat, He-Man, Skeletor, the Princess of Grayskull.
Well,
And that's it, isn't it?
sort of she was.
But the last one that I remember is, do you remember where they had a shield and you tap it and it goes round and then you tap it again, it's like...
Were you Thundercats?
Not overly. I do remember Thundercats, but not like...
Okay.
Yeah, so what I was getting at really is, I think I need like a new interest.
Crisps is always your thing, wasn't it?
As you can
Why did you
see,
say
crisps
that?
has always been my
Why did
thing.
you just say I'm into crisps?
Yeah, I mean, what was your thing growing up? Crisps, really? Lots of them. Chipsticks or pickled onions. I've been really lately, I've been struggling to fill my cart with petrol without buying pickled onion Monster Munch.
You like what you like?
They're so nice. How many packets of pickled onion Monster Munch could you eat
I'm not a fan.
off the bat?
I'm not a fan. I don't like pickled
What
onions.
crisps do you like?
I'd go on the roast beef.
Walkers or
Flanagan's.
roast beef and mustard?
Yeah.
How many packets of those could you eat?
Go if I wanted to.
I believe I could eat 20 plus packets.
Should we do it?
No, because
Why?
what we put on half a stone.
Think of the views.
Think of the artery furring.
Yeah.
No, think of the views.
Alright, well listen, I appreciate your time as always. It's 3 days after Christmas. What's your first thing? Is your first thing's back to New York?
January the 18th.
Yeah.
Fair.
Are you adding Miller to this or not?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah. There's a lot happening with the WBA. So,
Right, okay.
Feb 202. Feb 23, we may be doing a card in America, we're just finalising now. March 15, Philly. Tevin Farmer, Katie Taylor. March 23 could be Newcastle.
Okay.
Oh, before that as well, there's an Italy and a German show in Feb. March 30th is Liverpool. Really excited about that card. Love Liverpool. We haven't been to Liverpool since the Khan show. Remember when he boxed the Greco? I love promoting Liverpool. April 13th, Wembley. April 20 could be New York. And that's really where we're up to at the moment. May 4th, hopefully Canelo Jacobs. So thank you. I'm a little bit concerned about the boos because they used to happen just after the main event and now they're happening during the undercard as well. So
I think it's just a pantomime thing. I think it's like people believe that Eddie Hearn comes in the ring. It's like, oh right,
Yeah,
we've
but-
got to do it. I don't think.
I
don't
know
take
they
it
did.
personally. No.
No,
If you're watching,
can you
don't
stop?
do it.
Can you stop now? We've had that. It's boo. Yeah, nice one. And the worst thing is when I came out of the O2 the other night after the fight, I stopped down, the walkway. I'd done as many photos as I could. I signed people things that asked me to sign. I talked to all the fans, and it was like, Eddie, thank you for a great year. What a show tonight. You're the man. And I'm thinking, you booed me. And they all go, we didn't boo you. I went, that's a lie, because everybody did. So, thank you for the boos. Thank you for the support. Whatever you think of me, understand this. We're in a great place. If you love boxing, think of where we are now compared to where we were 5 years ago. We're all moving forward. Whether you like me, whether you like Coogan, whether you like Kelly Maloney or Frank Warren, we're all lovers of the sport.
Eddie Hearn, no, because the battery's going
Is
to
it?
die.
Okay.
First time I've ever used the whole battery on one interview ever.
Good.
Eddie Hearn, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
People, Happy New Year.
What's that?
Oh,
What was that?
just want to say shout out to my sponsors, Hugo Boss.
Oh, I see you saying that.
Double XL, please. And can you send Coogan one? Because he's got the referee's kit on.
I haven't. I've just come from look. I'm proper in gym gear.
Oh, mate. You're hench these days, isn't it?
No, first day back. Thank you very much.
Cheers, people.
Seven fresh opponents. Are you ready? It's good to get some minions in play. Have a good battle, friend. Nice work out there. Keep up the pressure. Welcome back. How's it going out there? I'll save these ones for later. Keep up the momentum, friend. Your minions really pulled their weight. You're good at this. I've got some fresh recruits for you. Oh, it's okay. We all hit some bumps now and then. Keep up the momentum, friend. That's what I would have picked.
Need a drink?
You're doing great out there.
Avenge me! I still...
Your minions really pulled their weight. Defensive systems online. Go ahead and hire one of these recruits. Welcome back. How's it going out there?
Need a drink?
doing great out there.
Avenge me! Avenge me!
You're good at this.
I have witnessed the true end time.
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits. I didn't like that one either. Here's a gold for the trouble. That one might make all the difference.
Nothing scares me. Except mice.
Let's see if you can stay on top. Your minions really pulled their weight. I like where you're going with this. Better hire a recruit while you can.
Total corruption, total power!
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out! is really raging out there.
Another satisfied customer.
Good at this. That's what I would have picked. It's not the strongest, but it'll fight hard.
Another satisfied customer. Another satisfied customer.
Rough battle. Pick yourself back up and turn it around.
fate of the world hangs in the balance.
I like where you're going with this. What's your strategy this time, partner? Have a good battle, friend. The battle is really raging out there. I think you can win this thing. The battle is really raging out there. You're doing great out there. Oh, it's okay. We all hit some bumps now and then. Keep up the momentum, friend. I've got some fresh recruits for you. You're doing great out there. I've got some fresh recruits for you. Keep up the momentum, friend.